Ho ho ho, happy holidays. The views expressed on this podcast are that of the host, and not Santa's. Please stay out of the Mojave Desert Mountains and save yourself a probing from the little gray elves. They come in peace, but will leave you in little pieces. For your listening enjoyment, put on your best holiday tinfoil hat, turn on all the Christmas lights, and stare at the elf on the shelf. Lastly, the UFO talk is explicit and full of holiday cheery goodness. May the mistletoe be with you. Let's get the show started, fuckers.
This is the Tempest Universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Welcome, one and all. This is the Wednesday episode of the Tempest Universe. And, hey, glad to be here. This is hump day. It feels like a Friday for me. I don't know why. But it definitely many days removed from Monday, thank goodness, which was, as always, freaking shitbox of nonsense. What's up to you guys? Thank you for joining me today. It's been weird. It's been really difficult to find anything having to do with UFOs in general, so we don't have any UFO sightings to talk about, but, Mondays was kind of interesting. I'm still thinking about the whole FedEx situation, and it's just crazy to listen to people going through these UFO sightings, just hearing them just go through it just live. It's just crazy because they get so damn excited. Then they're the people that, become totally shitless and they run into the house and whatever because it's the end of the world. But listen, UFO sightings are cool. Let's be honest about it. But, there are many instances where if you're not used to what you're looking at or you're not used to identifying things, you could be identifying something really down to earth, if you will. One of the reasons I don't like drones, not drones, but freaking, orbs. They drive me insane. Orbs are just, I feel like orbs are just people with bad eyesight. Or some shit is just too damn far. You can't focus on it. Your instruments can't focus on it. So, I don't know. I really need to see an orb for myself so we can, get on with it. I mean, even on Skinwalker Ranch, they report orbs a lot. Some orbs are not that nice there. Some of them cause some serious damage. But then again, is it an orb because you're blind as fuck? I don't know. It could be a fairy. Who fucking knows? Anyway, so today we've got, we're going to talk a lot about space and what's happening right now with all the new technologies, especially how much fucking money these things cost and the fact that they could blow up at any moment now or they're being misused and, we wait decades for someone to come along and say, hey, let's do something a little different and get our money out of this thing. It's shit like that drives me insane. But because it has to do with science, it's going to take you forever. Nothing in science happens quickly. Everything just slow as hell. It's horrific. Completely nuts. Anyway, that's just the way it is. It's cold as hell right now in Texas. Compared to last week, it's like 52 right now here in San Antonio. Last week it was fucking almost 90. So get ready for a lot of the sick shit coming on. Colds, congestion. I got some right now myself, but I keep it to myself. You know what I mean? You just gargle it up and keep it on the inside. Save it for another day. I want to say what's up to the guys who are in the live chat right now. If you want to listen to the podcast live, please go to Spreaker.com, sign up. Not only are all the episodes there, but you're also going to be able to join live like Green Man, like Gameville, like Danam, and Dre, of course. Even he's on there, believe it or not. Apparently had a big evening at a softball game. He likes hitting the balls. So congratulations. Yeah, even though they lost. Congratulations anyway. And then one last thing before we get this show started officially. Danam celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Norm. And actually, I was looking on Twitter today for some reason because I hardly ever do. Actually, lately I have because of that Anjali woman. But I saw on there that Danam requested a birthday song. So we're going to play it right now. And then we're going to get this show started.
Get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Start my day. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Drink some water, brush my teeth. Get out of bed and I stretch. Bed in my hair is a mess. Look through my clothes for a fit. Anything I do is drip. Feel like a kid when I'm tick-tocking. I still keep it real as it is. I show my age, I don't switch often. I'm just as a dad as it gets. Try taking naps with my kids talking. I'm guessing this life how it is. And I can't wait for the weekend. Keep jammies on like I'm a kid. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Feel good, feel great, can't complain. Look out my window, see birds and planes. Sun's out, some clouds, it might rain. Siblings on my nerves again. Summertime, go for a swim. Wintertime, go grab a sled. Spring, I might need an umbrella. Fall back in school with my friends. Attitude change like the weather. My mom tell me it never ends. Like clocks, we evolve in a circle. Every 12 months we do it again. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, get up, stretch my legs. Eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face. Throw my clothes on, start my day.
You know, that song just speaks of like rebirth and birthdays and birthing and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's a perfect birthday song for Sleepy Joe, for Danam, and for anybody else. As a matter of fact, I got an idea. Like, if you guys want to dedicate some music to somebody, well, not just any music, but if you want to do a dedication to somebody, long distance dedication, at night or some shit like that, hit me up on the email or social media, and we'll get that dedication. Now, even if it's something horrific, like somebody, broke your heart and you just want to, give some crazy ass message, I'll read it for you, or you can record it and send it by email, and I'll play it live. If you know someone that listens to the podcast, don't all of you hold up your hands all at the same time. We could do that as well. So that's going to be going on through November and December. For fuck's sake, why not? The first article gives you this impression that the science is really looking for so many ways to prove some of the craziest theories they had out there using all the new technology. So we've been talking about the last few weeks how China has the that new 500-meter aperture spherical radio telescope, which they like to call FAST. And so now everybody's like, damn, they're looking at all these old crazy theories, like one specifically by von Neumann. And von Neumann has these von Neumann probes. These probes are fucking crazy. And it turns out that Dr. Zaza Osmanov, you can just imagine where she's from, but she's out of the Free University at Tbilisi in Georgia. And she says, hey, I've been looking at this FAST telescope here that China has developed. And I feel that the significant size of what China has to offer, only in telescopes, that we can use this to actually see the theorized von Neumann probes. So what's the thing about these probes? So basically, if a civilization gets to the point where they can harness the power of their sun, you know, I wish I had a more evil voice. You know, if they can harness that power, they could build these self-replicating, or not, I would say fucking orbs, probes. These probes will spread themselves all over the universe. It's kind of like that one video you might see in hygiene, you know, where the sperm just goes everywhere. I don't know. I figure that's the closest thing everyone probably knows about, you know, right? Why not go that way? Why not go au naturel? But anyway, something like that. Or some movie out there, like some of the Transformers had these robots that self-replicated as well. So basically, they're self-sustaining, but they could expand so much because they self-replicate that they could swarm the universe. Out of pure efficiency, basically, because there's no intervention by, let's say, a human or an alien race. These things could just go everywhere and travel the universe, report back, and continue to evolve themselves. She says that the reason these von Neumann probes would be so efficient at exploring the universe is because, you know, their numbers will increase exponentially, and these robots will basically swarm space extremely quickly. And so Osmanov was actually talking in Newsweek about this. Like, I don't know. All these scientists, I don't know if they're bored at their jobs and they need new stuff, but they're picking up some crazy shit now. So fuck it, why not? Might as well do it. She says that she would characterize the von Neumann probes kind of like a swarm of bees. All right, swarm of sperm, swarm of bees, same shit, right? Thank you. Anyway, but she says, unlike the bees replicating so rapidly that in a short time, and according to her in cosmic scales, they can cover a whole nebula and even a galaxy. So she believes that the FAST telescope could actually see these replicating probes because they would generate extreme amount of radiation. This is the stuff that's going on with science right now. You know, you get a new toy, so fuck it, let's look into deep space and try to find some of the craziest fucking theories out there. So the von Neumann probes are the ones right now. So it is just, listen, it's a fascinating idea. You know, is it possible that not only is there a civilization somewhere in the universe that can, you know, freaking visit our planet or visit any other galaxy other than their own, but that they can also build these autonomous replicating probes to the point where they basically can take over a whole fucking nebula. That is fucking insane. Could it at all offer an answer to some of the craziest things that science is yet to explain in deep space? I don't know. But, you know, flying sperm in space, I mean, why not? It's possible, right? It is totally possible. So it doesn't say whether or not Osmanov has gotten any time on that telescope, which I doubt it, right? I would assume that because this thing is so brand new, it is the telescope right now that everyone's trying to get time on, that it will come as a premium. It's going to cost a lot of money to get time in that Chinese telescope. That I don't see anyone like Osmanov really getting on there for quite a few decades, if at all, to be honest. Because I don't know how much do the Chinese or Chinese government believe in something like the von Neumann probes. Nobody fucking knows. So we'll have to see. Are they going to give this person some time, or anybody, to look for these swarming fucking probes or drones that are traveling the universe, allegedly, supposedly, thanks to a theory by von Neumann. It's a crazy idea, but not so crazy for Newsweek, because they fucking picked it up. So I don't know. It's hard to tell what anyone really thinks is real or not. So who fucking knows? But there's more to the von Neumann probes, and there's kind of a bit of an explanation as to what they are and how the development of a particular civilization can give anyone maybe an inclination as to whether or not that particular civilization would have these von Neumann probes. So it's a good read, probably a one-shitter read. So go ahead, let your legs get numb just this one time. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Check this out. So this might surprise you, or it may not, but NASA doesn't want the discovery of alien life to be sensationalized. I'm gonna be honest. It'll never happen with NASA because they will find a fucking speck of a cell of something, and they will sit on that shit and, and test it and retest and quadruple test, write a paper, retest again, quadruple, triple, quintillion, trillion tests, write another paper, and then say it might be a life form 40 years down the road. But they're afraid that people might get too ahead of themselves. And that's not even fucking people, let's be honest. It is really any other agency besides NASA. Let's be honest. Come on, stop fucking around. No one is going to step out of their house, fall on Mars, and all of a sudden they find themselves an amoeba and just go crazy about it. No, that's Mars. No. NASA wants to make sure that they have this thing down. They have themselves a way to identify life, not on this planet, but also make sure that no one else gets to, have the big party and shit. Change religions based on someone just sensationalizing a single-celled amoeba. They could have come from our own planet. So they're getting together, and a lot of this is happening because they have all these missions coming up. Mars, it's been pelted by everyone. I mean, Mars is like the solar system hooker now. Everyone's hitting it. Literally. But then Jupiter, and then Europa, and then beyond, stuff's coming around the corner. No pun intended. So this is what they're doing. They don't want someone stumbling onto something and then automatically just assuming it's life. And so they want to build this kind of like identification of things. They want to be able to classify life if it exists, from it being a microorganism all the way up to a more complex, advanced, beings. More advanced than us. So these researchers are all getting together. They're all up in arms. I mean, why not? Everybody's hit with the ET language now. Everybody wants to identify it, find a UFO, storm Area 51, storm the Mojave Desert. So basically, we need to identify how we consider life. How do we define it when it's found by somebody else? So the scientists are getting together. They're trying to figure out really, how do you define a biosignature in a responsible manner? Like, don't drink and identify. Don't just go half drunk somewhere and start naming new life forms. NASA doesn't like that. You have to follow the confidence of life detection. Oh, man, what the fuck, NASA? What the flying fuck? Yep, that's what it's called. It is a scale. The acronyms are called the Confidence of Life Detection Scale. Each level of the scale is going to demonstrate how close scientists are to detecting alien life, but different levels of alien life, right? Because you'll start at the bottom, with your single-cell amoebas and, your alien microorganisms. Your little Martians with one eye, a little tail swimming around trying to impregnate another Martian. And then it gets up to, identifying whether, this could be repeatable. Can you find another single cell fucker somewhere? Can they communicate? Are they sending out radio signals? You go through all these levels of identification to figure out if it's life. If the shit's looking back at you, the fucking thing's alive. Trust me, if it's looking at you and blinks, yes, swat that shit, put it in some kind of a glass, something to keep it from spreading. But yeah, the fucking thing's alive, guaranteed. The funny thing about this is that what they say is as you go above through the scales from the bottom all the way up to the top, I think it's probably more than 7 levels. I only saw 7 levels altogether, but I think there's more. The higher the levels, the more scientists are capable of saying that this is solid evidence that the things are fucking alive. Hey, listen. You got to be there. Let's be honest. No one's going to sit there with a fucking a PowerPoint or a tablet trying to see whether or not this thing meets the scales of life. Trust me, when that shit stings you and you're growing another head from the side of your neck, the shit's alive. It's true. Now, their argument is that there should be a definite yes or no answer to the search of alien life and other discoveries, but it's not the right approach to do it. You shouldn't be able to say, yes, that's alive, no, that's not alive. Instead, by using a scale, they want to, and this is typical science, study all possible evidence over a long period of time across multiple stages. And this has been my chief complaint since starting this podcast. That any bit of science that has to do with the solar system, space, or finding or identifying alien life, that shit's gonna take for fucking ever. Like literally, this thing will be sitting under a microscope in a NASA laboratory. And it'll be sitting there freaking spitting out babies like crazy. And they're still gonna, be 40 years down the road trying to figure out this shit is alive. This is what's gonna happen. They just fucking told us in this article. And we know it's true because it happens with everything else. One of the articles that's coming up now, it's the same fucking situation. I don't understand why NASA moves so slow. It is the craziest thing ever. How slow they move. And it could be. A lot of people have said over the years that they just hide the truth. They hide evidence. They bury it. And all they give us is that slow churn to nowhere. Maybe that's all there are. My bug's just kicking up the snoring right now. But maybe that's the way they really are. They take their damn time. They over-examine everything. And they're killing us. They literally are killing us in space travel. There's more to the article. If you want to learn the stages, I was going to try to put it as the image for the podcast, but I couldn't do it. It would keep on cutting off the levels. But if you look at the article, which is, let's see, who is this? From Screen Rant, but I think Space.com also has it. You can actually check out the levels and walk around your neighborhood and see if maybe some of those people have been misidentified. You never know.
I'll be saved by rock and roll. You can take my money, steal my car and sell my clothes. You can take the shoes I'm in, go on, take everything. You can have about everything I own. Just leave that old piano, chair, so I can sit down there and play when I'm old. Take all these things I know, even take the telephone. I heard it said so long ago. Well, I'll be saved by rock and roll. Well, I'll be playing I'll be praying on our knees, we'll bow our heads and raise our hands. It'll shake us by our soul and praise that rock and roll. You can have my home and have the yard. Just leave my one guitar and leave me here, and I can play until the day turns dark. Take all the TV shows, go on, take all I own, and I'll be fine. I'll sit right here and pick. By God, it's good to know that I'll be saved by rock and roll. that bell. One day we'll hear the sounds that could liberate us and take us out of hell. And come that day we see the end, we'll just start up some angel band, leave the world and all those things we fought down there so far below. Just bring my whole piano, maybe a chair, so I can sit up there, play every song I know. And go round up George and Harry, John and Jerry, gonna have ourselves a show. I heard it said so long ago. And I'll be saved by rock and roll. And I'll be saved by rock and roll.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
By the way, there was an update today on Twitter regarding Anjali and the trip, the expedition to the Mojave Desert to meet the higher beings, the Dirty Five. I don't even know how many there are. I'm gonna call it the Dirty Five. I don't know what the hell they did to her, to be honest, but I think the name is fitting for them. So the big trip, the expedition to the Mojave, to go down to the mountain and take a bunch of well-known superstars of ufology to kind of spread the word about what these higher beings are saying and trying to save the planet and shit like that. So apparently the guy that owns the property, his name is Wayne, and ever since she made her announcement, people are trying to find Wayne. Track Wayne down because his property apparently is part of the mountain of where the higher beings, they hide out in. More like higher beings. So these beanos in the mountain will not be seen because the trip has been postponed because Wayne, unfortunately, is suffering from cancer, according to Anjali, and he's been harassed. So now he's like, no, fuck no. Nobody's coming on my property. My only thing is, if these are higher beings, you know, from another dimension, or they vibrate with different batteries. Like, my thing is, why is it that they are doing something about it? Why is it that they're not interfering? Why don't they go to Wayne and set some shit right? Why don't they go to Wayne, fix up his cancer, make him happy-go-lucky, fix his battery, and then Anjali can go in there with her crew and bring us back the wealth of what they have to offer, because they're trying to save the planet. It's a really weird situation. I don't understand. But, you know, a lot of people predicted that this was going to be the outcome. That basically this trip into the Mojave by Anjali and the select few was never going to happen, and that either it would be postponed or canceled or actually moved into sometime in 2022 just to buy some time. It is an unfolding story right now for those of you who are, you know, following the Anjali Chronicles of going back and making connection with the higher beings. But for the moment, it's not going to happen. So we'll see if Wayne changes his mind. You know, to be honest, come on. I mean, Wayne could just stay in his house. He doesn't have to go into the mountain. The people can just, you know, walk, I don't know, go into the other side of the mountain. Who knows? And who the fuck owns the whole fucking mountain? That's crazy. He needs to be probed. That's all I'm saying. He needs a good probing. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next article because curiosity is back. If there's anything that drives me crazy is the amount of shit we've dropped on Mars can get no fucking results, to be honest. Let's be clear about that. The one particular project was NASA's Curiosity, which was the It's like a cousin or a twin of the recent rover, Percy, that's up there. So Curiosity, really hasn't made any discovery. The damn thing has been up there since, 2012. 9 years Curiosity has been hanging out in the dunes, running through dry lake beds and shit like that. And it has never detected signs of life. And again, here's another rover where that wasn't one of the primary missions for the rover. I mean, if it didn't find life, fuck it. That's just the way it is, because it wasn't designed to find life. So, but it did have this thing called the Sample Analysis at Mars, or they call it SAM for short. But it never, in the time that it's been up there, has it found anything close to any kind of organic material or anything that would give NASA inclinations that something might be there now. And so recently, when I say recently, we're talking about in 2017, I did say it is NASA. So recently for them, fuck. For us, recently is like 2 hours ago. For them, it's like 5 years ago. But anyway, so they conducted an experiment because the SAM thing wasn't working. So somebody new must have joined the team for Curiosity. And they say, hey, why don't we move this thing over to the Bagnall Dunes? Okay, the Bagnall Dunes are these mounds, these dunes, which are dark gray. And they're somewhere in Gale Crater. So they said, fuck it, let's go ahead and do it. But this time we're going to use the SAM a little differently. So it turns out that SAM has this wheel of these containers. 74 like storage holders are on this wheel, but they contain chemical solvents. So somebody said, fuck it, let's not do it the way we've been doing it. Why don't we do some wet chemistry? That's what they did. So they took a sample from these dunes and they put it into these wet solvents. And then they said, okay, let's bake them. See what we get. Turns out that there were some results, right? We wouldn't be talking about it unless it was fucking positive results. So one of the tests they did in December of 2017, they used some of the solvents to dissolve some material they picked up, and they ended up with organic molecules. Like literally, it only took you like what, 15 years to fucking figure out that your SAM instrument wasn't working the way you were using it. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. But anyway, they did it. Now, they found organic molecules on Mars. However, they weren't the life-producing organic molecules that you find with life, meaning things like amino acids and complex organic molecules. These were simple ones, but it's a step in the right direction. Like I said, it only took them since, how long? Since 9 years altogether in order to get that done. Well, here's the thing. Right now, what they're saying is that they figured out that they can run, even on this old-ass rover, they can run new experiments. And so they're excited about that. So now the idea is that they're going to take the damn rover, move it over to someplace where you can find sulfates or things like evidence of different minerals, maybe some clay, and things that would actually preserve, or where you could find life today, rather than those gray dunes where they didn't find anything, but there was some evidence of organic material. So it's all looking up. Finally, they put good use to the damn probe, which incidentally, I think altogether this probe has cost about $10 billion? $10 to $12 billion? It's just nuts. It's nuts. The price that they're paying for these things, and they get no damn results. Now, on the flip side of that, the European Space Agency is going to be sending Rosalind Franklin rover up to Mars in 2022. this particular rover actually does have a particular instrument called a MOMA, or the Mars Organic Molecule Analyzer, and that is actually set up to conduct wet chemistry in order to find organic material that could actually be the building block of life on Mars. But again, this is rover number, 8 or 9 that's going up there, and we still can't get it right. Not a single, billions and billions, we're probably in trillions. If you take all the rovers together and all the shit they've crashed on there, we're talking probably trillions of dollars. And none of these things are made to identify the building blocks of life. It's just crazy. I don't understand what the fuck we're doing there if that's not what it's about. It just makes no sense to me. I might be the only one that feels that way, but who knows? Now, there's a little more in the article regarding the Rosalind Franklin rover, and as well as the crazy experiment that happened with the SAM instrument and the wet chemistry that is going down on Mars. So check it out. I mean, if you have the time, that is.
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight, didn't follow my dreams, and now I'm losing sleep. Slow it down, please tell yours if you want. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs, it's what makes it worth the ride. You will make it in time. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say, you'll
By the way, Anjali says she loves you all, but please stop the monkey chatter. What the hell is wrong with her? Why would she say shit like that? She's the one who fucked up. Her and the higher beings. Come on. Anyway, there are over 300 ways that the new James Webb Telescope could fail, according to NASA. These are not the things people should be publishing, NASA. And I swear to you, they do this every time. You know, just like they said, Percy's little chopper, we're not even thinking it's going to fly. Now the fucking thing can't stop flying. They under-promise and over-deliver. So now they want us to believe that the Hubble replacement, the James Webb Space Telescope, in the first, in the first 28 minutes of it lifting off, that the shit has over 344 ways that it could completely fail, and it's just a wash. I guess you'll be fucked. How are you going to fix it? December 18, this thing is going to take off on top of an Ariane 5 rocket out of the European Space Agency launch site near French Guiana. And it's nuts that this thing, they've literally been working on this thing since 1996. I mean, freaking Prince hadn't even written that song yet. Party like it's 1999. That's when they started this. It was supposed to launch in 2007. That should never happen. And now, 14 years after the thing was supposed to launch, guess what? It's ready to go, but shit could happen. Lots of shit could happen to this thing. NASA says that this is the most complex sequence of deployment it's ever attempted in a single mission. The thing is massive. Let's be honest. It's really freaking huge. 80% of those 344 single points of failure all happen with the deployment. So it's just going to be crazy. And they said pretty much it's hard to avoid having all these single points of failure when you release a mechanism of this size. They've been trying to work in redundancies and backup plans. Literally, for years, they've been working on, scenarios. If this one happens, what do you do then? Okay, they've got all these things built in to try to address these 344 fuck-ups if they happen. And, geez Louise, I know for this, they're going to be sitting on the edge of their seats. According to NASA, they do have multiple contingency plans. This is what they're, telling Space.com during a briefing they had recently. They said there's only one deployment really that that time is critical, and that's to get the solar array out. And he says basically, if we fuck up and don't get the solar array going, it's basically a big, expensive ass piece of junk just hanging out in space with a really nice mirror. So ETs can come in and check themselves before they come land and probe a few of us on the way down. So the solar array, absolutely critical. This thing, 24 years in the making, is estimated right now to cost a total of $9.7 billion. That's huge. $9.7 billion with 344 ways it could fail completely. Could you imagine if the shit just sits out there for decades, just sitting out there with no power, can't do anything, can't see a damn thing, and it's just there. Terrible. One of the things that can give you a kind of like an impression. You can visualize how huge this thing is. And that is that the mirror that they use, and you can see pictures of this thing all over the place. It is a funky looking mirror. But it is 6 times the size of the mirror that's used by Hubble. And the sun shield that it will deploy is the size of a tennis court. That's huge. That is significant. $9.7 billion worth. I don't know. How can you plan for that? Anything could go wrong. For fuck's sake, the European Space Agency could freaking blow the shit up before it even gets into space. How sad would that be? Could you imagine these guys sitting there just watching it, and the fucking thing the launch vehicle just blows up, and there goes old James Webb? There's a lot of things that could happen, to be honest, and those are just the breaks, man. 344 single points of terror, and everything's going to happen within the first 28 minutes. So, listen, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat December the 18th just to see this thing go up. Hopefully it doesn't blow up, but, fuck it. If it happens, it happens. What can you do? It wasn't meant to be, especially after 24 fucking years. Come on. That's just nuts. Anyway, here's the end of the podcast. If you want to learn more about it, see some pictures, some cool drawings and sketches. Actually, if you want to catch up on what the hell James Webb is supposed to do, you should look it up. It's a funky-looking space telescope, and to be honest, it's supposed to bring us a whole lot closer to the Big Bang. But hopefully the Big Bang is not what's going to happen December the 18th. No pun intended again. I thank you guys for listening. This is the end of the podcast because I got to go warm up. It's a little chilly here, and my rum is not working enough. It's not working hard enough, to be honest. So, I don't know if we'll be on the YouTubes on Saturday. It's very possible, but you got to follow it on social media. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to figure out whether or not the Tempest Universe or the Dark Horde will be live on Saturday to talk about some shit. But we'll see what happens. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like, share, and listen, and subscribe, and tell your mama, tell your dada, tell your papa, and your dog. Bugs tells the neighborhood dogs all the time. Listen to the Tempest Universe. Please.
stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Don't fucking scream at me.
Where's
you
the money?
Fuck you. Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.